What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FloGrappling Show, a.k.a. the worst show on the internet. Today, we're going to be recapping ADCC European Trials. As always, I'm Trey Robinson. We got Big Uncle Reed right there, Joey Gilps right there, and it was a stacked weekend, all right? We got Reed, though. Joe, I'm talking to you right now. Let's get just the boys.
Let's get into it.
Reed's working us like a dog out there, man. It's freaking nuts, huh? Waking up at 3 a.m., freaking posting all day. He's like, make a post with 1 million views or else, you know?
Straight up a conversation that we had today.
Yeah.
You guys make some of those viral videos.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, fellow kids? Mind if you make a viral video for me? I'm like, okay, Uncle Reed. Yeah, one viral video coming up, you know?
Well, it's fine. You two can be on a team because I got a special guest on my team.
Oh, yeah?
Chuck Liddell.
Oh,
okay?
shit.
Chuck Liddell is in the office here today, and I
man.
have got him on my team.
Do you want to show yourself, Chuck?
You want to
show yourself?
We got a special guest.
On the ones and
producer,
twos.
Chuck Liddell.
DJ Chuck Liddell.
Can we see?
Look at this guy. This guy's got the Chuck Liddell cut, dude.
Shout out Slack.
You've heard of Mr. T. Here's Mr. Low T.
Brutal joke, to be honest. Just owned Slack as he walked off camera. Okay, yeah, so we're having a good time, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know, Trials was also a good time coming at us from Belgrade, Serbia. I think, I don't know where you guys want to start, but I think the place to start is Owen O'Flanigan. This dude, absolutely electric from start to finish. He acts like he doesn't have a care in the world or anything, but then, just dominates everyone. Like, it would honestly suck to go up against Owen O'Flanigan and just be joking around while just dismantling you, But what do you guys think of Owen's performance?
Yeah, super electric performance. You could see it in some of the earlier rounds, too. Like, he was taking people's back, throwing up the points. He was absolutely on fire. I felt like him going up to 99 was kind of a move for the team, for Los Bandidos, which we can talk about how well they did all together, right? Los Bandidos, to me, was kind of the story of this Trials. But Owen was, to me, their best performer, and he was a guy who looked awesome, some awesome submissions all the way through, all submission run. Bringing the crowd alive with, a lot of charisma and pizzazz and emotion. I thought it was an awesome thing.
I saw somebody was calling him the world's most dangerous referee because he was also refereeing his matches by giving himself points as he competed.
Dude, I just love, Los Bandidos on fire right now. Those dudes are super fun to watch, but it just feels like Taylor, too. Like, they kind of just have this, protest style of jiu-jitsu almost.
Protest? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It's just like I don't want to say anti-jiu-jitsu because anti-jiu-jitsu has the wrong connotation.
Yeah.
But they just have this kind of rebel, punk rock kind of punk protest quality to their jiu-jitsu, where it's just it just makes it so cool. And just how lackadaisical, like you guys are all saying and everything like that. Owen looked phenomenal out there. The final he had was incredible. I was hoping to get to see more Owen O'Flanigan, the wrestler, but again, I couldn't even be mad at him that he just sat down in the final and stuff like that, because it just that's just this kind of punk rock jiu-jitsu that those dudes have.
Yeah, I think for one, him not wrestling, I think is maybe a little bit of a tip off, and I feel like Owen O'Flanigan tries to hide this a little bit. I think he's got a brilliant mind, maybe in multiple ways, but one of those is his ability to game rule sets. I think from Polaris and then seeing him come back in this ADCC Trials, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude's like a games master. He understands every rule set, because the way he talked about Polaris and how he would reference at any point we can send out Lucas Kennard, that's 20 minutes off the clock, 3 points. He kind of had it down. He also knew how many points he needed to score, basically, and then he would kind of be like, I did my part, boys. I'm going to lose this one, and then it's back on you guys. He just kind of had it all down. He also coached the team the entire time, which might be a sneaky little, they are giving Owen the nod as, kind of the brilliant mind of this whole crew. But then he comes into ADCC, and he goes up to 99, opts to not wrestle a lick after showing that he might be one of the best wrestlers in the game right now. You know what I mean? His wrestling was kind of unbelievable on Polaris, and then he comes out and is like, nah, not for this rule set. I'm not doing that. I'll opt for a penalty and beat this guy that way. That's how much I'm kind of confident in being able to play this rules.
I also think it might have to do with, he was not the biggest 99 and is still not the biggest 99. And, I think if he really wanted to, I think there's a shot he could have made 88. I think he's one of those guys who I wouldn't be amazed if he ends up down at 88 by the time we get around to Worlds, I think that's totally on the table, depending on how everything shakes out for all the invites and everything.
You think there's going to be a different aspect of that without Mo being the one that athletes are like talking to and everything, and like his willingness to work and stuff and move around? Like, you think?
I still think it'll happen.
You think so?
I think so.
I was just wondering that when
I
I was watching.
it rarely happens, kind of in the past years. It happens in a couple key cases, so I feel like it could happen again in a couple key cases. But
fair enough.
If there's a spot and if there's somebody they want to put in, it's definitely not off the table. But yeah, that's a good point. That's probably not going to be as like, because it was like
maybe I was just curious about it when I was watching. It's one thing I was thinking about, but who knows?
Yeah, so I feel like that probably played into why he was pulling in some of them.
But that's what I mean. He was gaming it. He knew he could go up 99 and then change his game for it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get why he probably didn't want to wrestle those Russian guys and stuff like that.
For real.
That makes sense.
You especially would know. Whenever those dudes were walking onto the mats, were you shaking in your boots back in Austin?
No, I wasn't scared.
Because I was shaking when a Polish guy went out there. I was like, this is dangerous for anyone nearby, dude. No, I'm just kidding. You were talking about Los Bandidos, though, that whole crew. To use some the younger audience's slang, these dudes got aura. Like I feel like this crew, because I bet they're rolling deep. Because like you could see Charles Allen Price in the background, you could see people in the stands like cheering, making some noise. You might have heard it a little after you saw it, but but I feel like these dudes like walk into the gym and just have this like aura about them, where it's like they're like happy-go-lucky, they're silly gooses, it seems, but it's also like I don't know. There's this air of like these dudes are actually like super dangerous and elite as well.
Yeah, elite jiu-jitsu competitors now.
Who has, we talked after East Coast Trials about how impressed we were with the outside heel hooks of Reese Lefevre, who still has some of the craziest ones for that division. For this division, it's probably Owen O'Flanigan, right? Look at what he did at Polaris with like Declan with the finals here. He got into that heel hook with like 5 seconds left and got the tap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a match where like, guys are going to hold on a little bit longer in trials. Like this he has such devastating leg locks.
Yeah, he's so flexible too. Like the way he like pulled his leg over into it was just like, and honestly, when that was happening, like we kind of talked about this earlier, and I guess since I'm anti-Dagestan. I don't know, based on last podcast. Like it was like,
but you're pro Osetia.
Yeah. It was like 5 seconds left, and it was like, okay, well, everyone could last 5 seconds. It's like, but if he touches his heel, this guy might tap, and that's what happened. So he like got it with like a second left. I don't know, but
yeah, no, you were talking about Los Bandidos and being dripped out and everything like that. But I just felt like the entirety of the European Championships was like one of the most dripped out tournaments I've ever seen, to be honest.
A lot of motion?
I feel like literally everybody. I feel like Heisum Rita wore a different rash guard and shorts combo for every single one of his matches. It's like Owen looked sick. Pretty much everybody would just like
Marlin to Jig, I thought had one of the
Marlin
coolest kits.
Had a cool one.
The tiger camo with the orange.
Had his own thing. I feel like everybody's just like dripped out in something different. There's so many different like these European jiu-jitsu brands that are just like popping up. They're like hype beast brands and stuff like that. Where I'm just like, whoa, like where do these rash guards come from? Like
the medical staff.
Yeah, the medical staff was awesome.
Standing next to the mats, dripped out as well. Honestly.
Yeah, bring them to Worlds. Everybody.
Yeah. The medical staff was just dripped out head to tippy toe in that Ferrari red kit,
They looked like they were like, there for like some sort of like F1. Like, out there.
Yeah, they were basically like a medical pit crew. Yeah.
That is kind of what you need, though. Yeah, I feel like in between matches, like bring Rafael Lovato Jr. over after the quarterfinals and just like,
yeah. What do you guys Your knee is fixed. I think the two most dripped out medical staffs, and I don't know if they're doing it anymore, was this European Trials medical staff in the Ferrari red kit, and then at Brasileiros a lot of time the medics wear a full doctor like white coat, like lab coat. But I feel like this last time
like
he wasn't
central casting.
It's always the same dude like with this like freaking silver fox hairdo all slicked back with a long beard, and he's always got his lab coat on, but I don't think he was wearing it last time, and that was disappointing to see. That was disappointing. I like to see a Brazilian doctor wearing a full medical prepared for surgery kit
just in case.
Yeah.
Just in
case.
You
had a question?
Oh, yeah, but I was just going to say, I know Heisum looked great. Heisum got the W in the finals. Obviously, I think we all had a lot of kind of questions coming in, just kind of what Heisum was going to be looking like. But what did you guys think of Heisum?
I honestly thought, my takeaway was that Heisum, I thought, looked great. It's like, it wasn't the toughest bracket. Obviously, there's guys like Heike Jusela in it, but he got taken out first round. Then just kind of a lot of massive European dudes who just seemed just as big as Heisum. Heisum, like, rarely I feel like isn't the tallest dude. And this time he looked really big. Like he looked filled out. But there were some massive dudes in there. And I thought Heisum kind of looked good the whole way through. Like got a lot of submissions. He ended up fighting Christian Ozbek, who's also a Los Bandidos guy in the semifinals. And he was able to armbar him. But I think Ozbek got a lot of motion as well. But what did you think of Heisum?
Yeah, Heisum looked incredible. Like you guys said, it's just a matter of, where's Heisum's motivation? Is his motivation still to be striving to be the number one guy in the world and competing against the very best? Because if it is, there's a good chance he's going to be able to do that. It's funny that a lot of Heisum's best qualities, his judo skill and his size, are kind of wiped away specifically at Euro Trials, where I feel like we do see a lot of Northern European guys who are massive. That Aiden Woodley guy in the finals was every bit as big as Heisum. There's a strong judo base, like you mentioned, for Christian, has a really strong judo base that all these guys are able to draw from. So Heisum kind of, I feel like, had to use a couple different things in his game too, and you saw the arm bars working really well, which he's obviously super known for. Heisum looked really good. I'm really excited to get him back at Worlds and see where we could get. He's kind of still just a lingering force in this bracket.
Definitely.
Can explode on anyone at any moment, it feels like, and
Straight up
submit some of the best in the world. So, yeah, I'm stoked that he's going to be at the ADCC World Championships. Really, things are starting to shape up for the ADCC World Championships. We're starting to get kind of a picture of what this stuff's going to look like.
We have about 30% of the athletes that are going to be at ADCC Worlds have been officially announced or decided.
Yeah, we were talking about 77 shaping up to be a little weird so far, right? It's
just unexpected division, Yeah.
It's Mika Galval returning champ, and then who's the other medalist from Worlds? Elijah Dorsey,
Elijah, PJ.
So let's say all of them are in, and then we have trials winners Little Jacob, Nikolai Vetrov won this one.
Jarbaev, Isaac Michel, and I think that those are the only four that we have so far. So yeah, we know about half of the bracket at this point. And yeah, half is PJ, Mika, all those guys. Dante's going to get an invite at this division as well. So there's another one because he medaled in the absolute, and he'll come back at 77. So we really know 9 guys who are going to be in the 16-man bracket, and there's a lot of weird ones. Like you said, Little Jacob is going to be in there, somewhere in there next to Dante's name. And those are two guys in very different places in their career. Mika compared to Vetrov, who won the bracket over the weekend, beat Taylor in the finals, showed a lot of really good submissions into the finals. In the finals, had to play it super strategic, or at least did play it super strategic, got the win there.
And then I feel like 66 is another one where we're just kind of seeing some wild new names, Yeet Hane won this one at 66, so cool to have him in, Turkish representative. Then we have Nico from the other European trials, and then Baby Shark, Pato, Owen Jones, Josh Cisneros, right, were the medalists. Yep. And so, yeah, I don't know, that division's kind of wild as well so far. Who was
Anraku of Japan is also and then Dorian is obviously going to be super, super tough there.
Yeah, so we're getting into the meat of these divisions a little bit, They're starting to shape
really
up. Starting to see kind of where some of the invites might lie, We got a little pug running by in the office.
Just captured my attention there. Sorry.
Yeah. But what was another notable thing? I feel like maybe we should talk about the women's minus 55, because that was, at least for me, a kind of unexpected.
Biggest upset of the tournament by far.
What did you think of that one?
Yeah, that was crazy. Anna had been the story of this ADCC season overall. Real quick, because we're just talking about weird invites and all that, before I will get back into Anna. Brazil #1 right now with official invites. And there's official invites, so we've just announced the champions will return. And then who do you guys think is the country with the second most invitations
currently?
Or trials winners right now? So there's 4 trials winners in the champion. And then for the women, obviously 1 trials winner in the champion. #1 is Brazil.
USA?
2.
USA?
I feel like it's got to be a weird one, right, for you to pose this question. I would say USA, though, still.
Australia, number 2
Really?
by 1, yeah. I think they have 4 or 5, and the U.S. is 1 right behind that. So
but
big shout out to Australia.
Declan's English, so
yeah, Declan's English. So yeah, we got to move that around.
An English representative.
We got to. He's doing it for Queen and Country over there.
Yeah, true.
That guy.
Long live the Queen.
So we're talking about Anna. We're talking about Anna Mayordomo, who is getting it done over there.
Doggy.
Hey, little buddy.
Yeah, there's a little doggy on the podcast.
She had won the first European trials. She had won the. Hello, buddy.
Yeah.
Is he on camera? Are we getting that on camera? All right.
Nice. what did you think about ADCC Trials? Oh, didn't like it. He did not watch.
Wasn't a fan.
He did not watch.
Was not a fan.
More of an IBJJF guy. So
Right.
it was an enormous upset. Janet was able to submit Anna. Anna, like we saw online later, looks like she busted up her knee pretty bad. That's pro sports. That happens. But Jeanette is somebody who, I've seen kind of on the scene a little bit. She was at No-Gi Worlds as a brown belt. She's still a brown belt. And just beat somebody who's in the black belt world finals. So that clearly says something about her. First German to win an ADCC Trials. We're seeing Germany have a little bit of a moment. Also had a European black belt champion in Denise Kron. So really cool to see another place where we're seeing more and more people start to populate as jiu-jitsu champions. Jeanette's a beast. She's another person who it's going to be really interesting to see her against the best of the best at ADCC. And this is going to be a really pivotal next 6-7 months or however long it is, 6 months for her, where she can be super locked in on this one massive goal where she's going to fight the best in the world. We've seen people get that opportunity before and take their game and level up to a completely new place where now they're one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
So let's see.
What a moment for her, just a huge in the final, it's just what makes ADCC Trials so great. I feel like, it's just such a proving ground and you can really have your moment, against, obviously everybody knows we've been promoting Anna and, she's been on UFC, and she's been kind of surging lately, right?
One of our breakout stars of the year.
Yeah, one of our breakout stars of the year, and I feel like people sometimes give us guff when we build somebody up and then they don't win the finals or something like that, and then somebody else and they're like, you should have been paying attention to this girl the whole time, but I feel like, man, that is the beauty of what we are doing, not us, but I mean just the beauty of jiu-jitsu, that somebody can be kind of riding this wave of momentum and stuff like that, and at any time somebody can kind of take that all away from you. It's such a black and white kind of beautiful thing. It's hard to navigate through, but
that's kind of something you were mentioning yesterday while we were watching and stuff too. Is that is the beauty of trials, especially. It's like you're watching two athletes just gain so much momentum as the trials goes on and on. We get deeper into this bracket and it's like, oh my God, dude, Linus von Schrink is rolling right now. Ferris is rolling. Now they're about to collide. Somebody's going to have to someone's going to take a loss. Someone's going to take a win in advance, but it's just that's the beauty of this tournament,
Yeah, it's this bend, don't break kind of mentality too, I feel like, where it's just obviously everybody's tied. 6 matches all these people had,
More, some of them, yeah.
Yeah. So it's in 1 day or 2 days, some of them had, but yeah, just what an epic tournament. And Marlin versus Ferris, a very...
The 88 finals.
Yeah, very, very close match. I feel like I maybe kind of came down on a little bit on the opposite side of you guys.
Really?
To be honest,
my side was that I thought Ferris won.
Yeah, not to misrepresent what you guys thought, because we were kind of privately talking about this stuff, but...
No,
I'm happy to share it. Yeah,
I'm down to talk
I would
about
have given
that
the
too.
decision to Ferris. I love both guys. I think both guys are amazing. Did a breakdown video of Marlin Tajik recently, by the way. You can check that out on the Flow YouTube. It's on the site right now.
Nailed that.
So, like you're saying, oh, well, why weren't you paying attention to that? Because I was busy paying attention to Marlon Tajik before he won trials.
Yeah, true.
That was good timing, but love both those guys. I thought that Ferris did more in that match, and I thought that him ending on top, I know that an action at the beginning of the match is supposed to count as much as the end of the match. Tough look to be stuck
Definitely
there.
tough look.
Having said that, I do think Marlin is a super dark horse when we get to Krakow and when we get to ADCC. I think that he is somebody who is young, athletic, just got his black belt, believes in himself a ton. In the No-Gi Grand Prix that is coming up in February 26th. So make sure you check that out live exclusively on FloGrappling. I think he is a guy who can knock off a ton of these dudes when we get to Krakow.
I agree.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I watching the match. Whenever I was watching it, I was like, okay, I think Ferris won that. Just mainly because I did think, if you take into the judging criteria of initiation, it did feel to me, and obviously I was wrong according to the judges, that it was Ferris kind of initiating and walking forward and Marlin walking back. And I feel I don't know. There's a lot of nuance in ADCC judging. I've never done the judges course and all of that, but just maybe there's a bias. I feel when I'm watching specifically of if you're walking forward, then you kind of have to be initiating. Maybe that's not completely true, or maybe I would just let recency bias of how the overtime ended kind of influence it. So I was a little more on the, like, I just thought Ferris was going to win, but obviously if you watch enough jiu-jitsu, you know that you can never really predict the decision victor when it comes down to it. And also, that was a match where it was going to be a bummer no matter what, and exciting no matter what. It was like, one of these dudes has to win, punch their ticket to ADCC. One of these dudes has to lose, kind of lose their last opportunity to officially earn their spot. You know, potentially an invite could come, of course. And I think, luckily for Ferris, if there is enough controversy online, a lot of times historically we see, you know, that person get a bid when it comes time for invites to be like, okay, well, this was a controversial decision, at least in the public eye, so maybe Ferris will get a bid there. But definitely that was one where it was like a couple of the homies kind of going up against each other, and someone had to lose, so it was going to be a bummer either way. But Marlin ended up getting the win there, so all credit to him.
Yeah, just to say, like, I really thought it was just kind of like a razor close match.
Not a robbery at all.
You know, like, I just thought it kind of could have gone either way. Awesome win for Marlin. Excited for him to be there, but man, hard not to be just nothing but like super impressed with this run that Ferris is going on lately.
Yeah.
You know, from Nogi Worlds to WNO to this, like, Ferris is like been climbing this mountain for it seems like a little while, and he's now kind of like finally starting to get to the top, and he looked great all weekend for sure. It was an awesome performance from Ferris too.
Yeah, and I think that's like another little tidbit on Los Bandidos. Like, I was talking to Christian afterwards. He was messaging me, and like, I told him, I was like, dude, we got to come out to Los Bandidos and like make some crazy video with you guys. Like, you guys.
Oh, Christian Ozbek. I thought you meant.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Christian Ozbek. For one, because like I was doing this live stream during it, and like everyone in the chat was like riding with Los Bandidos, which I was like, I didn't know the boys had motion like that, where it was just like they just have this online fan base as well, who's like, everyone was like, nah, Los Bandidos sweeping this whole thing. I was like, okay, shit. But he kind of, when I was talking to him about like, we got to come there and all this, he kind of said like, you know, put the mockery aside. Like, obviously the boys like to kind of make a mockery of everything. He's like, we train like dogs when it comes down to it. And I feel like that is true. Yeah. It's like all these dudes are silly gooses. They kind of like to mock like the whole thing, you know, all this like, oh, Owen O'Flanigan giving his own points and whatever. But then it's like this dude submits in the finals, and you can see the serious nature where it like comes through it. It's like, nah, he wanted to submit that guy. Like, he was not happy about how that guy wasn't engaging. And it was like a big thing for him to submit him, punch his ticket. And so I feel like in that training room, especially like using Ferris as an example, like how much he's been like making big waves and kind of progressing and everything, it's like, yeah, these dudes probably are like just training so hard, so technical. So I feel like there's a lot of layers to this Los Bandidos crew, you know. They're the onions of the jiu-jitsu world right now.
They're on top. Somebody else from Los Bandidos that I think definitely deserves a shout out, Anne Svensson. I believe she's from Norway originally. She has won a set of trials before. She took silver here, but she had a crazy, crazy tough path. I thought that her half of the bracket was so much, just so deep. She beats Nadia Franklin. I think she might beat Sulame Lowenthal as well, who's super tough. She beat that Martina girl from Poland, who I was super high on coming into this, who I think took fourth. I thought that she looked awesome. 65 champion did end up being Injana Goodman, who is somebody else who we've been watching like come up and climb up and really achieve some great things. Now Injana does officially punch her ticket to the ADCC World Championships, but I definitely want to shout out Anne, and I think that she is somebody else who you can watch level up from all this Los Bandidos work.
Definitely. And so in that finals, the minus 65, she ended up losing to Injana Goodman, and Johnny Goodman is another grappler who's been on like a great run here recently. And I guess like, if I'm being honest, something I realize as I'm watching, it is hard for me not to, at least in some ways, root for the girl who won the first trials. Yeah. Because it's like, that's a little bit of a bummer, right? It's like they have won one of the trials, but the way the brackets are right now, they don't qualify in that first trials. So it's like, I did find myself kind of being like, okay, I do kind of hope Injana gets it done. Like, she already did it once. It feels right, you know, like for her to win the second one and actually get the ticket. And that's like a little bit of where it's like awesome for Jeanette Gloger, but also it's like, ooh, that's a little bit of a bummer for Anna Mayordomo, because she's already won 2 non-qualifying trials, and then like now she's going to have to do a 4th to like officially punch her ticket. So I was kind of happy to see Injana get the win there and like officially punch her ticket. And I also think Injana's like rising star in female jiu-jitsu, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. You guys have any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Anjana is somebody who, like you said, a little bit of a rising star. I think she is somebody to watch at ADCC. Kind of depends on the seed, especially because those brackets are so small. But she's somebody who has proven that she can compete with a lot of people. She had a great match with Sarah Galvao, for example, at Nogi Pans. I remember for a little while her only losses at black belt were like Gabby Pisania and Sarah Galvao. She didn't have the Nogi Worlds that she was looking for. Lost to Rebecca Lima. But was able to bounce back here in a really big way and get it done. I think that Anjana, yes, just somebody who, that guard passing of hers is incredible. She is one of the best middleweight women's guard passers in the world right now, and was really able to show that over the weekend. And that whole division was really fun to watch. Like you mentioned, Nadia, Rana placing third, dual citizenship reveal like she put online after, which I thought was pretty funny. Rana actually not just like a famous person's daughter who's doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
she's genuinely good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
we would know who she was if her last name was not Willing at this point.
100%. Yeah, no, she's kind of like legitimizing.
So like hats
herself.
off to her,
Sure.
for being in the grind and like putting it on the line where she probably has a little bit even more to lose than most of these people, but she still goes out there, puts it on the line, gets dubs all over the place. So
If she wanted to go sign with, I don't want to name any company, so I'm just going to make up a company. If she wanted to go sign with a big martial arts company called like FloGrappling overseas somewhere, and just get like paid like $100,000 to have a match against like a blue belt like every 6 months.
Made up company. FloGrappling.
Oh, FloGrappling is a real one. Yeah.
I was like, where's this bit going? I was
kind of made a real.
Oh yeah, I was trying to make fun of a different company that also has a number. Two grappling.
Gotcha. There we go. Two championship.
Could just like pay her like $60K a pop or whatever. Like I'm just making up a number, but like so drop a bag on her just to have a simple little match. No, she's out here. She wants to be the best, and she's going after it.
That's it.
No, she's out in the trenches of the jiu-jitsu competitive world.
Apologies to FloGrappling, by the way. That was totally unintentional.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I was like,
But
I'm waiting to see where it goes.
Yeah, and so the third women's division plus 65 kilograms, that final we ended up seeing Annabelle Lopez go up against Nia Blackman, which I thought was just like a great next generation type of final. Two girls kind of in this up and coming generation, both trying to really break through to that next level, make a name for themselves in Nia and Annabelle, and it was a super close final for sure.
I agree. Both are amazing representatives of jiu-jitsu. Both fought really hard the entire tournament. They were going after it, being very aggressive, not just trying to win by a little margin, by a lot. Annabelle gets the dub. I think that she is somebody who I kind of think she could win ADCC. Yeah. I think kind of depends on who some of the people in the bracket are. Like if Gabby Pisania's in there, obviously that you got to think about that matchup. But yeah, honestly, even if Gabby's in there, I just feel like Annabelle is somebody who I would not write off as being able to go very, very deep at ADCC and do very well.
For sure.
Gotcha. What do you guys think about the weight cutting? Do you think that ended up, the weigh-ins being there on that Friday, that have anything to do with anything, you think?
I think it definitely helped out a guy like Yeet. I think that Yeet Hane and the way that his bracket kind of played out, where I know there was a pivotal round that his opponent wasn't able to go, and so he got into the next round, which if you're a guy who has weight issues, that really helps out, just have a little bit more recovery time. So I do feel like there's guys who it helped them out a ton, but that's also going to be the same case at Worlds, right? They're going to get to weigh in pretty early and get a lot of recovery time and be back to 100%. So I do feel like for a couple of people, it definitely helped them out to be able to get a little bit of extra time off the scale.
Yeah, definitely. And just to kind of round out the last division specifically, we haven't talked about, we mentioned Nikolai earlier, but it was Nikolai who ended up taking the 77 kilogram division. He saw Taylor Pearman in the final. And, certainly Taylor looked great the whole way through. Was he all submissions up to the final? All submissions up to the final. Looked like maybe he's going to do it again. Win trials, all subs. But he ended up pulling in the final, got the negative. And then Nikolai was just kind of able to, maintain top and control from there and get the win off the negative, which isn't super spectator friendly, not ideal for what you want to see in a final, but it is the reality of
you want to see a big spectacular submission finish, of course. But
because Vetrov up until then was on a nice run himself and was hitting a lot of cool leg entries and submissions. It was okay, Taylor's got this Russian dude who's on a tear in the finals. These dudes are going to clash, going to be some awesome jiu-jitsu. And then Taylor gets called for the negative, and you can just see the Vetrov has never been in a match like that before where there's that much on the line. And he was like, listen, my path to victory just became super clear, or at least a path to victory, and I'm going to take it. And if something happens, fair enough, but I'm going to keep taking this path to victory until somebody knocks me off of it. Nobody was able to knock him off of it, and he gets the win. The pull was a little controversial, I feel like. There was at least like 1% controversy with that, right? Because I feel like Taylor was trying to do the like, oh, you took me down thing, but like didn't quite.
It was just like very half-hearted. I felt like like he just kind of didn't quite sell it as much as he needed to. Where
I think he sold it too much. I actually, because he did the thing like right at the beginning where he was like hopping on one leg and like giving them the leg, and then like he didn't take that, and then they like kind of laughed about it and had a thing, and then they like clinch up her body, and Vetrov starts walking into him, and Taylor just falls down.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's
so
like
you thought he was the catcher who like is framing pitches too aggressive,
a little too
and
aggressive.
the ump is just like, nah, I'm not giving you that ball. Like,
no, it was like. Yeah, it was just too obvious what he was trying to do.
A little too on the nose.
Yeah, a little too on the nose.
That's what I think.
Like,
It was like you had to play that up a little bit more and just like.
But I feel like it's like
respect
the thing that I was expecting him to do is to shoot on him. Hold the leg and then pull. It's like if you just do the Mikey thing, stick your leg out. Nobody's gonna take that. So like that is kind of why like you have to kind of put yourself in danger a little bit by shooting and then pulling. But
yeah. I mean, it's not ideal to get thrown really hard, but just like maybe give the guy an underhook and go for a ride and then and ride it out from there. But so that kind of rounds out, I guess, the division champ specific talks. Was there any just standout moments throughout the tournament that kind of you guys want to dive into? I got one if you want me to kick it off, but.
Really cool mirror lock from Camille Will.
That's what I was going to say.
There you go. Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
I thought that submission was awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like Camille's
I
feel like Camille's a cool guy. Like I like watching Camille, to be honest. And that was a gnarly submission as well. That mirror lock.
Go back and look at how the grip he has when he finishes is actually a little different to like how Adele did it at ADCC Worlds. Potential breakdown video coming soon. But like, yeah, it was like a cool little grip. If anybody wants to see what could, because I very quickly became immediate. So many people from Camille's gym hopped in the comments being like, he hits on me like 3 times a week. Yeah. So like that's something that he's super, super good with. Camille's somebody who, I feel he's one of these guys that like we see every ADCC trials. We're always like, this dude does have like some pretty sick stuff, but like he doesn't win. But like still is always impressive. That was definitely one that hopped off for me.
For sure.
I feel like Marcin kind of got lost a little bit in this tournament, but I definitely watched him get a couple quick leg locks earlier in the rounds and everything like that. So I was bummed to see him lose to the guy there who was in
Urushov.
Urushov there. Bummed to see that happen. But still an impressive tournament, I think, from Marcin. I don't know if he'll get the invite or not. He had two good showings at
2 medalist performances in trials helps.
Yeah, definitely helps, and him being Polish too, maybe. But
also true.
And then I was excited to see Richie B be in the final. I mean, in the third place match there against that Sergio guy. I believe he ended up losing the third place.
Yeah, Sergio won that.
Yeah, he ended up losing.
But still, Richie B did really well.
Yeah, but I was excited to see that Richie B had some good success in there. It looked like it was kind of like an Aoki lock or something like that, right? That he got him with, got Richie B with at the end there.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
like
finalist.
Standing Aoki.
Standing Aoki.
Yeah.
That'll get you. Shout out to the finalist at 66, 16 years old.
Yeah.
This Ukrainian kid.
Yeah, Zivanov or something.
Zivanov, something like that.
Yeah, no, I kind of thought, like, I know you've been big on Yi, and so, like, definitely I was watching him throughout and everything because you're kind of, like, we're predicting him as one of the guys that could win everything. But as soon as I started watching this kid, Zivanov, going, I was like, I don't know, man, we might have another 16-year-old that
like
no
unknown.
one's super hip to just come out of this, like, through all the freaking ashes and emerge the champion and have another 66 champ. So
that was a pretty close final, too.
Impressive.
Super close. Yeah, up until, he was finally able to.
He got points.
He took the back and he did choke him.
Yeah,
but up until then, it was super even.
Yeah.
He was in on a couple really good takedowns, and Yi definitely had to work his way back into the match. Looked like a veteran performance to me, honestly. Just him staying a little bit more calm, big moment, not freaking out. But that is definitely a kid that we're going to hear from again. So many good young talents, especially coming out of like the UK. with that, or out of Europe rather, like with that kid, with Nico, who won the last trials. Definitely want to shout out that kid for having an awesome little performance there.
Another
Sorry, not an awesome little performance. That's so demeaning. An awesome performance.
Yeah. Another big moment that I feel like was one of the most electric moments while I was watching live. And I say this with the caveat of like a little too much Los Bandidos glaze going on. And I feel like those dudes are going to make fun.
You're going to hear about it, bro.
I know. Those dudes, like, you can't say nothing nice about these
You're
dudes.
the glazer,
You can't
not
say
us.
Nothing,
Don't put us in this.
You can't say nothing bad about
There's only one
these
glazer.
guys. Yeah, just freaking D1 glazer over here. I'm just going to get made fun of in like deep London, South London slang that I can't even understand. I'm going to be hitting the Google machine after they make fun of me to figure out what these dudes even said to me. But
Coming to work tomorrow, Trey's all bummed out. No, they said I was all cocked up.
yeah. But
Isn't it?
But you know, I thought one of the sickest moments, I don't know if you guys saw this in the quarterfinals, Christian Ozbek was down 2.
That was sick, yeah.
2-0, and then like with literally as time expired, like I think he secures the back, gets the hooks in, and there's like maybe like 2 seconds left on the clock, and it was kind of one of those situations where it was like, is there enough time where he got the hooks in for him to get the official points off of it, and he did get the points for the back, went up 3-2, like basically as time expired.
Yep.
And that was just like, damn, bro, what a dog. Just made it happen. Was like going to lose. So many people at that point would just kind of be like, well, nothing I can do. But Christian Ozbek just kind of hit a slick little back take.
So hard to score points ADCC
at
format,
any
no matter
point in
what,
time.
you know?
So I thought that was sick. Like watching it live, that was like kind of like a holy shit, no way, Christian's going to do this. So I thought that was cool.
One that was very similar to that, you mentioned the match a little bit, but Linus versus Ferris was also super late scored for Ferris to take it. Linus finished top 4. Mateus Major actually took 3rd place there. But that was just like a razor close. Points came up after the time it expired because they had to like sit there and think like, do you get it? You know, really talk it out. But that was also, just like throwing on the cape and going and making it happen. Another kind of finish like that. And, I mean, these guys did all the coolest stuff at trials. What else were we supposed to – you guys get all the talk.
That match was great just because I thought that it was just like there was so much on the line. Both Linus and Ferris, kind of first-timers in this position of kind of being, a little bit more favored to go to the later rounds and stuff like that. So I feel like they didn't have a – anyway, they had a lot of momentum and stuff like that, and the match kind of was a little bit stalemate-y, right? Like they were obviously 2 very good kind of matches for each other, and it was just like, all right, like kind of when's that moment gonna drop where the person who like wants it more goes out and grabs it, and then it was, and Ferris is just so good at taking people's back from like standing position. I feel
wrestling and then getting to your back as soon as you start to defend it.
And he obviously final seconds and everything like that just dug deep into the gas tank and made it happen, and just you could see how devastated Linus was just kind of immediately too as well. So it was just like there was a lot on the line in that match. That was a fun one.
To go anti-glaze here.
Let's do it.
When Christian was messaging me, he was kind of like talking about his match with Heisum. Like he was like, man, I fought all these massive dudes, and then it's Heisum ends up getting me.
There was a height issue in that match. Yeah.
And because I think like honestly, Ozbek is like
he's like
an 88 guy. Like he might have beefed up for this, but I think he is would be like an 88 competitor if he was like in his division. But I don't know.
I think it was the Bandidos plan to like 77 Taylor, because even Taylor's like usually an 88 guy, right? But I guess he's kind of making the move to 77. Yeah, Taylor at 77, Ferris at 88, Owen at 99, Christian at plus 99. I think if they were all left to their own devices, that probably wouldn't be their best.
Every single one of them is an 88 dude, so they're just having to spread it out.
Maybe.
Ozbek was like...
makes for really good training.
He was like, yeah, man, no, I was banged up, and then I got baited into the armbar by Heisum, and my response was... Yeah, I know. That was awesome. I freaking so come on now. I was taking a piss out of him a little bit, huh? Just a wee bit. Just taking a piss out of him a wee bit. And he was just like, bro, no way. I got Flo just celebrating my downfall right now. And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding. I just wanted to sneak that one in there because I feel like I'm always getting made fun of for glazing everybody. But so yeah, I'm just trading barbs with the Los Bandidos.
So I'm basically,
I'm just like basically one of the boys that look like me. I don't even care about this stupid show or this stupid tournament either, dude. I'm just like chilling, doing cool stuff.
Did I just qualify for ADCC? My bad.
Oh shit! Did they just invite me to ADCC? Like, I guess I'll do it, but no, I'm just kidding. But overall, yeah, I thought Trials was sick.
ADCC season's the best.
It is
it
the
really
best.
Is.
There's always there's just so much you just like cannot expect. You know what I mean? Like you could not script up Anna dominating through 2 trials and then losing in her first match that would have actually sent her to Worlds. You know what I mean?
Ups and downs of it.
It's just it's weddings and funerals and crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. Were there any other big takeaways you guys remember? Hey, I got a question actually, because during the live stream, this dude would not stop asking me to talk about the Saeed guard and what I think about the Saeed guard, and if I could show the Saeed guard and just Saeed guard this, Saeed guard that. And I was like, bro, I don't know what the Saeed guard is, and I'm not going to be able to know by the time I end this stream. But he ended up saying that it's like a variation of the clamp guard, like that Adam uses. Do you know anything about the Saeed guard, or who's doing it, or who Saeed is? I don't even know who Saeed is.
So that's probably a good purple belt from another gym he knows. That he thinks he's like a lot more popular than he is, and like comes to open mat sometimes, and like the guys there talk about it. I don't think that's like a thing.
Because that was the only info I got. Is eventually I was just like, because he was trying to describe it and he couldn't describe it, and he was just like, it's kind of like, I think Adam maybe has a gi variation. I was like, are you talking about clamp guard? Like, is that what's going on here? That's the only, and I don't know that much about clamp guard either, to be honest.
Saeed's just really good at butterfly guard.
Turns out we meant close guard.
Dude's just nasty at half butterfly. Okay, I didn't know if you would know.
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't know Saeed guard.
I don't know. I feel like people like, obviously there's a big push to like invent your own guard. By and large, we figured them out. You know what I mean? If it's a position where you can hold somebody and do offense for an extended period of time, I bet that we figured it out. I'll go a step further. I only think there's 3 guards.
Okay.
Open, closed, and half.
All right.
Those are really the only 3 guards that basically exist, and everything is just kind of pushing and pulling.
Variations of
all right. Let's do. This is a
Open,
new
closed, and
segment called Open, Closed, or Half, where me and Reed say a guard, and then Joe tells us which category it falls in.
Super
Go
easy.
ahead.
or should it be the opposite?
Oh, we try to predict which one? Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay.
Let's do it that way. So give us a guard.
Spider.
Open.
Deep half.
Half.
Half butterfly.
Half.
Rubber.
Closed.
Closed. Yeah.
Okay. X guard.
Open.
Open.
Okay.
Octopus guard.
Ooh.
Open.
Not even really a guard.
Yeah.
Just a thing you do.
Uh-oh.
It's like turtle guard, right?
Yeah.
Because you can do it from so many places. So it's more of a technique in a system than a guard, I would say.
But it's got to maybe. My first thought, if you had to put it in one of those 3,
Open.
would be, I was going to say half.
Yeah, you can do it from side
Kinda
control.
half, yeah. But once you get the arm around, now is your arm acting as though it's half guard with the legs equivalent?
I wouldn't say so, personally.
Dude, there's another moment on the live stream. Sorry to keep referencing the live stream, kind of lame. But where a dude was like, why don't you do more analysis of the jiu-jitsu? And I was like, I don't know if I'm that guy, pal. Like, it's like there's different types of guys who are diehard jiu-jitsu guys, very technical, analytical guys who are like boom, 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 boom. And generally, they compete at ADCC, you know? And so there was like, I was like, all right, here we go. This is the technical analysis portion. I just like was breaking down a Taylor Pearman heel hook, and I was just like, all right, as you can see here, he's establishing control. I was just pulling every John Danaher and Greg Souders like line I could. He's establishing control inside Senkaku of the near side leg.
He's creating conditions for the
yeah. All right,
Great
he has
pinning.
now enacted double trouble by controlling the secondary leg and creating a dilemma. His opponent reacts to the dilemma, opening the outside heel hook. Beautifully done by Taylor Pearman. There you go. That was my analysis. But
Just like I wrote it out.
yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like when people are doing low-level analysis, like I would have to categorize myself as doing if I'm trying to do analysis. I'm just saying exactly what I see. I'm not like analyzing it on some deeper level, which I think a lot of people do on the internet. It's just like, yeah, no, everyone can see that he grabbed the second leg. I don't know if that is technically analysis or not, but you know.
I think that analysis actually kind of follows one of those like bell curves where it's like you've seen the like and the 2 people are on the far side.
64% of people fall in this portion of analysis.
Yeah, where it's like on the bottom end of the spectrum, it's like, oh, he's grabbing his leg and fucking it up. And then in the middle, it's like he's getting to a double outside reverse senkaku, exposing the hip. And then on the like far end of the spectrum where you know a lot, it's like, yeah, he's grabbing his leg and fucking it up.
Yeah.
It's like also true. Like,
It comes back around.
This guy comes back around to like, yeah, fucked his shit up right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should make, like, to accompany your breakdown series, which has probably better analysis, I might make a just super chill, low-key analysis series where I'm just like, oh, shit, dude, I don't know. It seems like that probably hurt. Like, yeah, I would probably tap to that.
He got him. He got him.
Dude, he got him good. Yeah, he's got him right where he wants him. Oh, he doesn't want... Okay, my analysis falls into 3 categories. He's got him right where he wants him. He doesn't want to be there. And oh shit, he's tapping.
Yep, we got the tap.
All analysis can fall into those 3 categories.
I will, yeah. It's hard in my own analysis to not add in a damn, got his ass.
Yeah. Dude, there's so much jiu-jitsu where it is just kind of like,
Damn, got his ass.
yeah, 100%.
If he
Like,
taps him, that means it worked.
Yeah.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, this one dude kept saying I talk like a white belt, and I was like, no, dude, I'm just on the other end of the bell curve. I'm
Yeah,
so
there
far
you go.
advanced, you don't understand that. The simple analysis.
It's a real thing, yeah.
It was Mark Twain who said, "He who analyzes simply analyzes best." You know, so.
Straight up. Why use many word when few word do?
Yep, exactly.
Next trials is Brazil trials.
South American, March
Brazil.
20th or 14th and 20th.
Yeah, 14th and
that's it.
20th, something like that.
14th
That
and
sounds right.
21st, maybe?
Yeah, kind of the Ides of March, kind of right in the middle. So we'll see what comes of that. But so that's the next one. Like I said, ADCC.
I feel like we got a little too impressed at Reed using a literary reference. Like, I feel like if you used to throw back up, hey, fuck you guys.
I know,
Like,
you just dropped a Mark Twain thing, but the Ides of March seem to.
I mean, that's
fit
like, I feel like that's like one of the most famous quotes ever,
Yeah,
to
true.
be honest. But yeah, okay, so now let's move into our literary update with Reed Connell. You've been reading the Serbian history book, huh? Now that the Serbian trials are over, tell us what's going on in this book.
It was nice to see the Serbians, kind of be on this, jiu-jitsu international stage, hosting a tournament of this caliber.
Yeah. Awesome to see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll save Serbian history for next episode when Reed gets further into it.
Serbian history is made every day, brother.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, Brazil trials should be sick.
Yeah, I'm excited about
I
Brazil
haven't looked at
trials.
registration.
And then April is the North American trials. So
Yep, West Coast.
What really makes, for people who have not experienced like an ADCC season, maybe like is your first like time really paying attention, what makes Brazil trials especially crazy is that it's back-to-back weekends. So these guys, like, you'll see them like go through to like the semis or the finals even and not punch their ticket, and they got to show up a week later and do that whole bracket with all the same guys over again.
It is brutal.
It is so. You see guys at the end of the second tournament who you've just watched in the last week have 15 brawls.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, do you need a water or
Like-
something?
like-
Like, can I help you out?
like Majid Hage.
Majid Hage
is
is
kind of
one.
the one that came to mind.
Yeah,
I remember he had just like absolute wars at the first trials, and then they lost in the finals,
semis or the finals, yeah.
finals.
Yeah.
It was one of those, and then had to go back and just fight through all those like kind of like unknown black belt Melky Galvao dudes who were just like killers. That's brutal.
all of them know that they can change their life.
Yeah,
by beating you.
fighting for much more than
Yeah.
Yeah.
we give
Do
them credit for. But
you guys think we're going to see some relatively unknown 66 kilo Melky Galvao student come out of this one? Like, they were so close last time. Like Kalabi,
If we're calling Kalabi and them, like I do think, they just
is
have
Kalabi small enough to do 66? He's probably.
I have
might
no
be
idea.
big up.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
gotta
last
be.
time I saw him at trials, I was like, this kid is huge.
Yeah,
Like, how the hell did
he's
he
got
make
to be going up to
66?
77.
Yeah,
I think he's
maybe.
going up. I think Izaki Lima's going up to 77. So
I'll tell you another thing. They'll make whatever weight Melky tells them to. So
Yeah.
don't
But then it's
worry
like-
about
yeah,
that.
it's like
all
if
right?
Mika's in at 77, then it's like Kalabi can't be in at 77
Yeah.
then. So
it's like we're kind of alluding to. There's a lot of like team dynamics and interpersonal dynamics that I feel like at like West Coast or East Coast trials, you just kind of don't feel as much. European trials, you kind of just don't feel them as much. Here, I feel like it's like more personal when we get to South American trials somehow, especially because it's like not exactly gi jiu-jitsu with the respectability of CBJJ and IBJJF coming in. Is like, no, we're here fighting, and it's my people against your people, and anything can happen here.
And it's like each team has like 5 guys who could win. So
Yeah.
it's like it really is like for those 5 guys, it's their opportunity to kind of like, kind of get ahead of the rest of the pack, that they're kind of stuck in or whatever. So it's like, yeah, just their opportunity.
Yeah, I think we're going to
nothing
see
else
some,
quite like it,
there's-
yeah.
We're going to see some crazy stuff for sure from South American Trials. I
Yeah.
remember last year at the second trials, that was the Fabricio split from Melky's gym was a little more fresh. And I remember when the brackets dropped, it was like Fabricio and then every Melky student.
Melky,
And
Melky,
yeah, it
Melky,
was just
Melky,
like,
Melky, Melky.
oh my God, Fabricio is going to have to fight every kid that he's like helped bring up.
That looked up to
And-
him, yeah.
I was like, this is absolutely bonkers,
It's
and he did.
now-
Fabricio did. Don't you worry about that, okay? He took them out one by one. He said, maybe next year, little guy.
Straight up one of the craziest tournament performances,
Yeah.
front to back that I've ever seen in my entire life was Fabricio.
He
right
was
through
just
that
smashing
trials.
dudes that he's helped bring up out of the mud. And in the middle of all of that, he mixed in a Peruvian dude who was on a kind of sick run, wrist snapped him in the slowest motion we've ever filmed, and just got a huge clip out of that. So, I felt like, Fabricio last year, South American Trials, insane performance. And I feel like there's going to be some more of that come this time. I don't know who it's going to be, but definitely some of that.
It was like out of an anime.
Yeah.
It just genuinely, it's the
Yeah.
most anime he's ever going to get. Yeah, there's a lot of people that it all depends on the signups, right? It all depends. Sometimes you'll see like one division has all the top people signed up. It's going to deliver, and then it always does. And then there's other people just really hoping that they make their way in. Gabby Pisagna is at the top of my mind. Sarah Galvao is another one who I just
Yeah.
have really hope these people can get into that second trials and qualify their spot, not have to have it left up to an invite or not. And then obviously there's a ton of men as well that I hope.
Yeah, there's
make it
dudes
to one or two.
like Pedro Mourinho won the second South American Trials last year. It's like, okay, is he going to go down and do it again? There's just a lot of potential for this one. I will say, since we're talking South American Trials, I am stoked to see this Peruvian team again. Like last year, I felt like they were just having insane matches, both first and second South American Trials. I don't know a lot of them personally or anything, but they would just all rock the same rash guard with the Peruvian flag on the back, and they were just going out there and having insane matches.
Scrap City the entire time.
Yeah, it's like just scrapping the whole way through. There's a bunch of them. I remember one of them was the match where Renee ended up Uchimateing him off of the onto the concrete, which was you thought someone was going to die. It exploded somebody's lunch, which was really funny. And we just had someone's lunch all over the edge of the mat in the concrete. And I was like, hell yeah. Well, hell yeah, boys. Now we're doing it. So I think South American Trials will be sick. We got IBJJF Grand Prix coming. It's going to be February 26th, where we're going to get to see a lot of these people who have been in kind of the trials mixes and everything, like Marlin. We mentioned Pedro Mourinho. Devontae is going to be there. Michael Pixley. A lot of Nick Hartman. A lot of dope people. But maybe we'll do a full breakdown next week for that one.
Bracket's out for that, by the way, so make sure you check out the bracket on IBJJF.
Should we just run through the bracket real quick? How long have we been going, Slack? Do you know?
Let's save it for next week. I feel like we'll
Save it for next week?
Yeah, I feel like save it.
All right, so we're going to do a big IBJJF Grand Prix breakdown next week. We'll break down the bracket and everything. We gotta conspire to get the belt off of Reed. So we got to think of some game that plays into our, our.
Maybe a total match time, while it's not going over.
All right, let's see who can create the team with the most total match time. That would be honestly be hilarious.
Not how I was thinking of it, but yeah, that works.
You're
too.
going low.
I was just saying total match time for the Grand Prix or something.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All right.
I mean, submissions are gonna be-
We'll figure out something. We'll do a full breakdown for the Grand Prix next week. We'll have a little fun game or something. But thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.